What's up guys, Fox Heretic here. For today's video, I want to show you my version 2 of the Crowbar build that I had published last week on YouTube. I made a couple changes, so let's get into it. First change I made was I swapped the Mark II needle pistol for the Mark VI for this build, and I can show you why. I'll show you my second build because I have the Mark II here. So there's a node called the sample collector, which is right here. Kills replenish 1% of your cartel special cooldown, killing chem toxin infected enemies. Instead replenishes 2%. So the reason I take Mark II for this particular build is because it allows that dot damage to spread to nearby targets a lot better, honestly, than the Mark VI. So if I just beam that, you see the extra damage being taken. So this allows me to get my stim back faster, which allows this to come back faster, right? This is a stim supply build, obviously, and I'll publish this build to the YouTube at a later date. Anyway, something else I can show you about the Mark II. 4 shots. Okay, so with 4 shots of the blue, it stacks up to like 148 with the Mark II. 4 shots of yellow, it stacks up to 364, right? Which isn't bad. It's not, it's not too bad. However, for the Crowbar build, I don't think it's as important to reduce the cooldown. So I don't really like the idea of taking the Mark II for this setup, so I prefer the Mark VI, and the reason why, let's do 4 shots with this Mark VI here. So 4 shots. You can see the dot ticked up to 465. It's a big difference. So I like this one a little bit better for the Crowbar because it allows me to just push a target, shoot a couple times, and I get a little bit more damage, and then I can just go to town. So I think for the purpose of this build, I like this weapon a little bit better because it allows me to sit in the back line or the mid line and pop stuff from a distance. I'm not really doing the AoE spread. So that's the first change. Second change, I went for a little bit more survivability on the build. So the video I published last week, I took Quick and Deadly, which gives you 15% close range damage for 3 seconds after a successful dodge. I swapped that out to take Chem Fortified. And the reason for this is I don't think this build really needs that 3-second buff of 15% close range damage after a successful dodge because it's only 3 seconds. I think Chem Fortified is better just for the overall survivability that it offers. Using a stim replenishes 50% toughness, which is pretty huge. Additionally, each stack of dependency grants 5% toughness damage reduction, so this stacks up to a maximum of 3 times, so that will give you a nice meaty 15% toughness damage reduction buff. And specifically in like Havoc 40, I think that little extra security layer feels really nice. So I'm going to attach some gameplay so you can see the build in action. As always, you can find me on Discord. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment what you like to run on your Crowbar build. We can compare, see if you have something similar or something different, and if you do, be sure to let me know what that is, so maybe we can make this build even better. So with that being said, I will see you guys in the next one, and enjoy the gameplay that is going to follow soon after. Okay, so I'm just going to show you guys the build real quick. So we got Crowbar, 60 mobility, Carapace Flak, Superiority Bash, Mark VI needle pistol, dump stat damage, because it doesn't really matter, 25 unyielding Carapace, running gun strip down, toughness, stamina with combat ability regen, revive speed, stamina regen, combat ability, stamina regen, gunners, combat ability, revive speed, gunners. then for talents, grab all this good stuff. Yeah. Stim lab. Get your rending. All this good stuff. And with that, let's begin.
Defecting the heretics will restore the water supply.
The ending for this map is so hard for me.
Silo cluster? That's what this is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, silo cluster is kind of shit. It's the beginning, honestly. Once you get past the beginning, it's pretty much smooth sailing from there. Oh, shh. Nike.
So, like, 100% of my crashes are because I try to check people's builds from that screen. Modular menu buttons does it. It's a mod.
We'll get this done. Come hell or high wind. Come on, your priority. Shield us. Watch out!
I just want to add, this was my first game today, so the beginning of this was a little bit of a bumpy start for me. Watch out for the barrel. So you notice right here my stim comes off cooldown and I don't immediately use it. I want to point out that this is a flaw and it's something you do not want to do with this build. As soon as your stim comes off cooldown, you want to be popping that immediately because you want to keep 3 stacks of chemical dependency. That burster sounded off with its audio cue a little bit late. Thank you. So right here as well, I just want to mention, because I have made some content briefly talking about team composition, and what's going on here in this game is we have a Skitarii using arc rifle, which is a backline. We have a Book Zealot, which is a pseudo frontline-ish, like he can, you know. And then we have a Bubble Psyker, Inferno, and me using Rampage. So, in this mission, we lack a dedicated front line. So, the beginning here was a little rough for me, because I didn't talk to my team about... I hit the drop. I mean, I did briefly about our team comp, but... So, in the beginning of this mission, because we lack that dedicated front line, I had to figure out on the fly where my team wanted me to be. So, towards the middle end of the gameplay, you can see me start to lean into that front line role a little bit more for this team, because we lacked that dedicated front line.
Last waypoint achieved. Continue into the Ragged King's port.
Thou truly have holy rage, Tekori!
So this here was also a cool interaction. We got a boss spawn, and as a team, we decided to collectively fall back as a unit to bring the slug towards us, so we brought him back to a prior choke point. And this is an watch out with that example of arc good rifle, team play. 'cause of I that had demon just host. met these guys. It was a pub game, and right here we are figuring out how we all like to play, right? So this team likes to, when pressured, fall back to a prior choke. So I'm like, okay, now I know, and this type of behavior will be repeated throughout the whole duration of this mission. And in game chat, I don't know if you heard, but I told the Skitari to watch out with the arc rifle due to the demon host. So I didn't want the demon host to be aggroed, so I had mentioned, you know, hey, be careful with the arc rifle because it could disrupt the demon host. It gets aggroed anyway, but even still, an example of good awareness.
Not it.
Assist me! Veladon, say a farewell! Rebels dealt with! Spirit mutated body!
Let's hang out for a second.
Sniper isn't here anymore. Oh, it's gonna blow!
Spawn coming. So right here too, I switched to the alternate mode on the Crowbar, like the spike, the heavy strike down. I did this because I was given space to get away with it. Had the boss been surrounded by elites and trash, you leave yourself open during that long animation, and you can and probably will take hits from the back or the side. So when you do use that mode, it is super strong, so you should. But just be careful with surrounding mobs.
Isn't it, beloved? Do you think the heretics know that? I don't reckon that they care. What a pity. Still, no one accused them of having good judgment. No, beloved. I don't think they meant to block the entrance.
Celerity stim in here. Some ammo. It's all you, Skitari. I see this very often as well. When doing Havoc, I notice a lot of people neglect
Some more ammo for you.
to look around and loot for
Gotcha.
resources. You're not looking for like materials like diamantine, plasteel. What you're looking
Some
for in
grenades
Havoc,
here.
which is very
Want
important,
to refill your
is
servo skull?
grenades, ammo, all that stuff matters a lot. Ammo crates, med crates, all that stuff can turn the tides of the game. Like one med stim sometimes
There's
can be
more
the difference
grenades in
between a
ammo
wipe
crate.
and a successful run.
If you got
So-
flame skull,
You definitely want to get into the habit
time
of
for it.
looking around the map and checking for resources for not only yourself but for your team. You want to keep everybody topped up. You want them to have ammo. You want them to have grenades, because if they don't, they're not able to utilize a part of their build. And you have to remember that everyone takes a build for a reason. Their ranged weapon serves a purpose, their melee weapon serves a purpose, their grenades serve a purpose, and if they don't have these resources, they are not allowed to play their build to the maximum efficiency. So you want to make sure everyone has enough resources to tackle what's coming towards the team, okay? That's definitely something that I see people choose not to do a lot of the time. They just kind of have tunnel vision and they neglect to look around for resources for your team. So definitely don't forget that. It is very important.
Ammo tin right there. I'll grab this one. Nice stun storm. Alright, I'm dropping back.
Okay, so right here, the boss spawns. We got two, right? We got Packmaster
Never mind, there's a Medicaid up
and
ahead.
Captains. You see here, our teammate went down. So, and he just got a res from the servo skull, right? Now, he probably would have gotten res regardless, but if that was not a Skitarii, you notice there that I pulled the boss. I had the aggro. I pulled him away from the teammate that was down. So even if
Kind of in a bad spot.
we didn't have a
Get out of
Skitarii
here.
with the servo skull, it was highly likely in that situation, from me relieving the pressure off the team, that somebody could have gone and picked up our teammate. Alright, so that's an example of good awareness, and that's something that you want to practice in Havoc. This was a pretty cool sequence of events. So I mentioned earlier that we lack a dedicated front line. So with the Rampage and Crowbar, you see me start leaning into this front line role a lot more for the team. So I place myself between the big blob of meat and my teammates. I'm not playing Arbides Ogren, but I do what I can with what I have. Also, a great play to the Zealot was he grabbed
I'm gonna
his
check
book
the
there, and
outskirts
right
for
after
some
I took the
resources.
pressure, right, and I took the front line,
Some
as soon as
med
I
stim right
took
here.
cover, he decided to pop book and use it aggressively to take more ground, and that was a great play. That's something you should definitely be doing as a book Zealot player.
Can anyone else hear the bridge creaking? Or is it just me?
Was it? Okay.
Something new for the collection.
Thou lookest as though thou art listening to something.
Let's see, we're gonna get a boss on the bridge.
Then there is yet hope of its restoration.
Ammo's all you. If you need ammo, just grab it. I got pickpocket, so.
Elevator appears intact. Try to survive until it arrives.
It's a med crate in here.
They're taking to cover. Drive 'em out. Sniper's at it. Target spotted. Agreed. Damage shield.
Just let me know when the elevator's done. I'm gonna stay here and just tank the front line.
Again, right here, I decide to go up a little bit to be closer to the spawn. So I'm taking the front line, although a little risky with the build, you know, not the tankiest boy that ever tanked. But I still make the executive decision to go out there and be there to alleviate pressure on the backline from all those gunners, the shotgunners, drag gunners. Again, it almost kills me, but I figured in this situation it might be wise for me to go out there and be that distraction.
What a G, thank you. Alright, we're good.
Efficient would be getting to the bazaar as instructed.
Elevators here.
Mm-hmm.
Buster! Our friends no more!
That's a boss.
66A is within reach, varlets. Proceed.
Med stem right here. Go Reaper. Drag gunners. Watch out for the barrel. I'm gonna check for materials over in this back corner. Watch out, I got leads. Medstim back here. I do want to make a point right here
Where to stim?
about the AI director and how it spawns. So you can see I pinged a Medstim. Psyker came and wanted to grab that. Rightfully so.
Watch out for the barrel.
So him and I are together, and we have two other teammates that are over there up ahead,
let's go.
but they are
You
also
ready?
together. To stop the specials from just constantly spawning, me and the Psyker are maintaining coherency. So it is okay to split, but if you do so, make sure you are in coherency with at least somebody on the team.
Somebody on the front.
Maulers.
Great book.
Burster pulling up. Backline.
You guys ready to proceed?
Yeah, ready.
Bulwark.
Target spotted!
Ready?
You stay away from me, because I want good for you. But I don't always know what's happening. That's the problem. Just keep your
Big ammo.
all right.
Zealot.
At last! Ammunition!
Got him.
Shotgunner!
Reaper's dead. He's about to overdose.
Red Maul,
Another one. Give him some of the fent. Ooh, dead.
grab yourself!
Grenades back here for Zealot. Throw your last grenade.
Grenade!
Alright, I'm gonna keep an eye on the front line. Oy.
Closing on silo cluster 1866A.
Supply dragons! Cast them from my screen!
Oh, oy. Nice medkit. Good call. Good burster pulling up. back line. Overdose. Bomber? No? Okay. There's a heal back here for you, Zealot. 4 charges.
Wishes us luck.
Little ammo. 2 big ammos. We got grenades and another big ammo. I'm gonna take one of these big ammos. I'm gonna refill my nades too, if y'all don't mind. Seems like you guys are pretty much chilling.
To permit you to flush the system. Once the cleansing is triggered, dispatch the living one.
Nice shot. We need somebody at the last one over there on the left side. I'll go over there. I got needle pistol. Coming back. Got the bash. Start rotating to the right here. Last one's over there. Alright, still gonna rotate to the right. I'll get the one that's far. Camp out over here. Alright. Okay, so right here, for the final objective,
I'll go hit the button.
I tell my teams to stay
here,
put,
yo.
and I go out there with needle pistol to go push that button, so that we all don't have to run into gunners, right? As soon as I stop dodging,
It's okay, don't worry about me.
sprinting, I immediately get blown
Just
up.
get me on the Riz.
Now, when you do something like that, just know what you're risking.
Nice stun nade.
I tell my team, don't worry about me, right? But the Zealot pops his book
get out of
and
dodge.
throws a stun storm and revives
Burster
me,
pulling
which
up.
was a huge play. So that was good on him. Also, this goes back to what I was saying previously about looting and making sure that you're checking the map for resources. In that situation, if the Zealot did not have grenades, he could not have thrown that stun storm to shut down those gunners to get a breathing, like a couple seconds of breathing room, so that he could pull
As
off
soon
that
as I
revive.
stopped over there to
So
push the
I just
button
want to
and I stopped sprinting,
point
I just
that out
got
as well.
immediately beamed by like every gunner.
That's how I've scored.
Yep.
While dodging. Dead if you
Yep, I stopped moving to push the button, and that was the end of me.
I mean, dude, you're shaking for a reason.
Shot.
Contaminants falling to within suitable parameters. Acceptable work. I have authorized
Good work.
extraction.
It's baby food. You guys have scoreboard, Mom?
Keep it up, and you might become someone. Dead.
Yeah, I do.
Alright, if you guys don't mind, I'd like to know how I did as far as damage.